Now it's going. What's up, my fellow yous? How are you all doing today? Maybe that'll be my intro. And my outro will be you. I've been thinking a lot lately about being yourself and what it really means to be authentic as a human. And it's just a silly discussion. I'm definitely not going into that right now, but kind of analyzing ego, intention, our reasons for doing things. And I got up this morning and I thought I wanted to make a video, and for the first... Well, let's just start here. I've been making YouTube videos. I think I joined YouTube in 2009, but didn't really make my first video for anything until about 2011 or 12. So it's been at least 5 years, maybe a little longer. And during my first few videos, I talked about like prepping. I made let's just say I had a variety of different subjects, just like I always do. But over the years, they've really changed from idea to idea to idea. I, at one time, was very anti-religion, let's say, and outspoken about it. And then for a while, I was on kind of a Eastern mysticism type kick for a while, which was relating to my studies of Manly P. Hall and the occult and general philosophies. Then I moved into the realm of philosophers, history, wars, things that have happened in this world that have shaped and affected humankind to bring us to where we're at right now. And something I've noticed over the last month or so is that I just don't have the same interest in jumping in and making a video on camera. And I really was asking myself why. And it's not a surprise. I've talked to, and I've heard this from a lot of YouTubers, and it's what I expected, actually, of myself as well, that anytime you do anything for a long period of time, you tend to want to jump and do something else. You know what I mean? To make sure the camera's going still. To expand your horizons, if you will. So a lot of people start YouTube making videos about one subject, and then they run out of stuff to talk about. For example, there's channels that may talk about, so let's say, just space exploration, or just, space news, and the people who watch those might be interested for a while, then they might not be interested for a while, and so may the creator of the videos. And then there are subjects like, maybe a person only talks about like video games, or only kratom, or only cannabis. And I had a cannabis channel, actually, my other YouTube channel, and it still has, I don't know, a couple thousand subscribers, but I haven't even been there in months because I'm not interested in cannabis anymore. So this is why over the years, this channel has always remained neutral. I talk about everything, and I don't expect anything. You might get a 1-minute video, or you might get a 1-hour video, and it might be something that matters or something that doesn't. But all of them are things that matter to me and thoughts that occur to me, so I think of it as like a journal. Which leads me to wonder, why am I not as interested lately in making videos? Now, when I do make them, I still enjoy making them. And but when I had a thought in my mind, I would be much more likely to share it in the past, even if it was something very mundane and small. And that helped me to grow, discussing it with people. And I'm wondering if maybe it's because back in the day I might have, a couple hundred subscribers and might get 3 or 4 comments and we could talk back and forth. And then today I've had all of a sudden 11,000 subscribers, and it's almost like maybe there's a little bit of weight there. I'm scanning my own subconscious, to say, is it because I think that maybe I have to present something more of value because there's more people watching? And I decided no, because I already told myself, whether I've got 1,000 subscribers or 1 billion subscribers, I'm going to have to keep it real and talk about things that are just, life issues. And sometimes that's about myself, sometimes that's about politics, sometimes it's about religion. All of these things in the world that shape who we are, are worth discussing. And but in this case, I'm kind of delving into the intention of why I make videos. And I've been asking myself this for years, actually. And I've had several discussions with people who say, well, you probably do videos for the feedback and the ego boost you get from, people responding or agreeing. And maybe in some ways that's true in some cases. I guess it depends on the subject. But I actually welcome controversy just as much, if not more. Because if somebody presents a good argument to something I say, then I can learn from that. And I've been put in my place more than a few times by people who, say, well, if you think this, then what about this? And that's how we work things out. Because I'm not too stuck in the way that I think. It's just that I really feel strongly about the way I, perceive things, but I still have to leave that open to know my perceptions are programmed by life. And my life, which is different than everyone else's. Every one of our lives are completely different, of course. So I'm curious to know what I might end up doing with this channel, if I will just continue to talk about rambling things for years to come. The truth is, it wasn't until a year or so ago when I was like, I'd really love to expand this channel and do something to where I could actually do it for a living. But I stopped myself short. I'm like, I'm not going to put advertisements on my channel. And I did sign up for Patreon because, some people do donate. And I just wanted to say I do appreciate to all those who do. I sometimes forget that the Patreon exists because there's only a few people that donate on there. But I dare not ask for people to donate. I see a lot of videos that people spend a lot of time making, and they say, hey, we take, Patreon donations. And I think, why would people want to donate to a guy rambling on video in his, back room, outside, or wherever? And I thought, is that just my ego beating myself up by saying that maybe my stuff isn't worth, making a profit on? To give a background and where I'm going, I'm not a big money-oriented guy. I've always had a hard time, trying to get the motivation to, get mine, if you will, because life has so much more to offer than finances. But also being aware that without financial means, you can't really support yourself or your family. And I have kids and a mortgage and all these things. So that part of society kind of wears on me. It's like I'm forced to be part of that, part of the society. And I wonder what it would be like if I was able to, if any of us were really to completely follow our hearts and passions. Where would that lead us? And I mean in every single way. Just go. It's hard to say what that means because, if we're at home, we're not going anywhere. But traveling, it doesn't really get you anywhere. There's no escape. And I'm trying to figure out what life's all about and how to best live it. And my ideas are constantly changing as I learn things. Back in '98, I think, a good friend and I borrowed a car and went to Montana to look for land because we wanted to escape the chaos of what might come. The future was looking dreary. I'd read Behold a Pale Horse back then, and I thought that everything was coming down. Who knows, martial law will be declared, or there's going to be a world war, or, I had my mind in the negative zone. And realizing now that's because I wasn't sure where I was going. And since I hadn't gone to college, I didn't have a career, I didn't have any real financial means, for me, the best thing I could see was that the whole society collapses around me, so it brings everyone to the same level. Because then I knew that I'd be able to shine and move forward with, coming out of the ashes, the phoenix rising, and taking charge. And I've always had this feeling since I was a kid that I'd be part of something big after some kind of a disaster, but that's probably just some delusion created, by my own thinking. But anyway, I got out of that mindset. That was almost 20 years ago. And I lived that way for about 10 years, thinking that, there was going to be some major catastrophe. And today, did I lose that? Did it go away? No. I just know better than to worry about it or base my life and what I do on what might happen. Because what I've realized is there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to go off the grid. It doesn't happen. The world is a very small place. And I'm giving this story because it was all a big metaphor for my own mind. I was trying to escape my own mind and my own thoughts by distracting myself and thinking something big would happen, and then I would be able to, who wants to get up in the morning after a post-apocalypse and have to go out and hunt for food and stuff? I mean, we've got it pretty easy here in the West, at least, but I felt like it would be better overall for the earth and for the people if everything just fell apart. So today, I guess I still believe that something like that might happen. I just don't really base my life on what's going to happen in the future, and I don't dwell on it or sit and watch people on there and talk on YouTube about the next apocalypse or martial law, because it's all bullshit. Every October surprise is the same crap. There's going to be something that's going to happen. So every year, here I am, still, summer comes and I'm making videos, and it's just really strange to look back 5 years and think I've been making videos that freaking long. It's just, I don't know. I hope I keep making them. I really do. I'm trying to inspire myself to get more subject oriented and deeper, but it takes so much time to do editing and crap if I wanted to do nice videos. So for now, I'm just going to go ahead and ramble about life, so we're all on the same page, I guess. This has been long enough, so I'm outie. I'm going to head out for the day. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Oh, wait.